Hey fam!
Let's be
3D.
Hey y'all, well, it's back. Another episode of Let's Be 3D. And, last week it felt so good to be back doing this podcast. And we just love being real with y'all and talking about some great things that have happened in our lives. And that's what we've been talking about for, goodness, how many months now? Several. But we hope that you've enjoyed it, though, and I know we've enjoyed it, reminiscing about the stuff we did on our mission trips to Serbia and Romania. And today, we're going to jump into the concert in between the kids' camp and teen camp, and then we'll go into the fun memories that we had at teen camp and also the hard goodbyes and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a great episode. But first, let's do some roll call. Like I said, I'm Joshua. It's good to be here. Yeah.
So I have my voice back.
Who is this?
Naomi.
Very funny.
So I have my voice back, but
I
might have sprained my
Lost
knee
a knee
playing
somewhere.
football. I'll get back to normal one of these days.
It was honestly John Mark's fault. Can we just?
No,
Mark won't admit it, but y'all did run into each other.
I mean, y'all ran
That's
into
what it
each other,
looked
and
like.
then you landed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, okay. Honestly, what happened was I ran past him.
Mm-hmm.
He juked it back around.
Yeah.
And then
He
you
juked
literally
you.
threw the football right to me. And I was like, oh, I can get that. And so I ran up behind him and kind of dove for the football.
Right.
And,
it's your fault.
and all my
Whatever.
weight
Obviously.
landed on my left knee. And then I scraped up my right knee pretty bad.
Yeah.
And as soon as I hit, and I was like, okay, that hurt.
Yeah.
But I honestly
then she
didn't
kept
think it was
playing.
as bad as it
Jamark
was.
asked me the day after, Abby, how are you feeling physically? Like, are you sore from the football game and stuff like that? And I was like, seriously, I do not run around like y'all do. I was not feeling sore at all. I mean, he was feeling sore, but it's like they run around like crazy out there. And I'm just like, no.
Well, I couldn't because, well, I did one time because I caught the ball.
You were doing it more than I was. I'm like, jog over here,
Jog
walk
over
back
there.
over
Yeah,
here,
anyway.
wait for the football. It's
So,
not thrown to me.
We may have to
90%
talk
of
about
the
that
time.
in another episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Naomi is here.
Looking gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Anyway,
Oh,
so at least I
thank you.
have my voice back and I don't sound like Gollum while we're trying
Right.
to record.
It wasn't Gollum. It was more like, I don't know.
I
Abby's
was waiting
here.
for the insult.
Hi. Me insult you?
Never.
Yes.
Abby here. I'm here. I'm alive and well.
Yes. She's also looking gorgeous.
Aw, thank you. And I'm feeling much clearer than last week. I still
Yeah.
had some congestion. It was very annoying, especially when you're trying to sing and something's blocking your just
Yeah.
resonance.
Your
It's
sinuses.
your resonance.
Right.
And I guess,
my
I mean, I
sinuses.
noticed it more because I was kind of stopped up in the ears and everything.
I
Anyway.
hear you.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
I'm feeling a lot better, so
That's good.
hi.
That's good. Jacob here. Glad to be back. I think I have my voice back too. I was dealing with some junk myself.
Yeah, when Jacob, it's like you
It wasn't
coughing.
that bad, was it?
No.
And clearing your throat. It's like,
No, it's
okay,
like a
I'm
loud
hurting
cough.
listening to
And
you
I'm
do
like,
that.
You're gonna
Anyway.
kill your throat.
Wow.
But
Oh,
he
goodness.
survives.
I'm here.
Everyone's back to
Wherever-
100% except me.
She literally just
Do you
moved
hear
and went,
how she said
"Okay,
that?
I'm not doing that.
It's like, that was not a move I wanted to make.
Oh, that's awesome.
The
Anyway.
knee is such a mobile joint that is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Naomi has learned that. Your lesson in anatomy. Is that anatomy?
Yes.
Honestly, I would rather have a sprained ankle because I'm faster.
Right.
The knee,
On your sprained ankle?
You're
Walking.
faster.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
moving around.
Yeah.
Seriously, we were walking
And standing isn't torture like last night
right.
during our concert.
We were walking somewhere, Naomi and I, last night, whatever. Anyway, at the concert, And Naomi and she usually actually walks a little faster than me. And so I took off. I'm not like jogging. I'm just walking pretty fast wherever I'm headed. And I turn around and I'm like, I'm by myself.
I'm like,
Where
yeah,
is
I
my
ain't walking that
sister? And I
fast.
turn
Go
around,
ahead.
she's
Yeah.
like, turtle.
People probably felt really sorry for me last night.
Aw, they might have put more tips in the bucket.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
There
it.
you
That's
go. There you go.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, let's
Anyway.
jump in right
Yes.
here
I had a
with
dog
the.
Brazil.
I should say this was probably
One
the
of the
most
weirdest.
Yeah, I like how you described that.
Nothing against the pastor and his family.
No,
at
they were
this,
amazing.
This was the only Church of God in that denomination. It was a Church of God. I think this is the only Church of God we ever played.
No,
in
Ah,
Serbia.
we
Coronavirus
played it.
was
Was
the
that a
first-
Church of God?
yeah. Back in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a church.
But
of
it
God.
was
been
a
a while.
Slovakian. I don't know if that makes a difference. But it was
I don't
It was
know.
an
The-
older crowd. This had a good mix.
This one was a younger crowd, and they were a little bit more into the spirit.
right.
Amen.
Right.
But as far as the pastor and his family, it was a really wonderful.
So nice.
It was one of the. I mean, we were always treated especially well,
Yeah,
Above and
of course.
beyond.
above
They
and
went
beyond
above and
whatever we
beyond.
would ask.
Yeah.
But this one was one of the more,
Yeah.
especially more. I'm
Like
not-
going the extra mile.
Yeah,
Right.
comparatively speaking, it was great.
Well, and it was outside, which
It was.
I love playing outside in Serbia. It's just-
Yes.
that's
Did it
my
rain on
favorite.
us at one
A
point? Maybe.
little
A
bit,
little
but
bit.
not too bad.
Between music and message.
Right, because
and
this
music.
wasn't just
Music.
a concert.
music?
If I remember correctly, it was like a
Outreach?
church
Revival
outreach because
Yeah.
they had a
They had a creepy pastor from Norway.
Evangelist.
evangelist.
He wasn't a
Evangelist.
pastor.
He wasn't a
Whatever.
pastor.
He was
big
creepy.
difference. But no. I'm talking about the games they had set up. They had some
Oh.
not
Well, wasn't
arcade
it
games,
right
but they
in
had
the
those
middle?
like a basketball, like one of those mini basketball court thingies, and
It was
and
like VBS. Wasn't it in the middle
Yeah.
of their
Yeah.
like VBS?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it
something like
was.
That might have been
Yeah,
why
yeah,
we
yeah.
had a
And didn't
younger
they have like
audience.
I always called them a moonwalk, but you know the the inflatable thing that kids jump around.
I believe
Yeah.
they
and
did.
hurt
I don't
themselves.
know.
Yeah.
You know what? Cakewalk, moonwalk, whatever you want
Yeah,
to call them.
cakewalk,
You know,
Bounce
you know what I'm
house,
talking
down
about.
sea house.
I don't know.
That's a
That kind of thing.
lot of descriptions.
That's
but you know
kind of
I'm
what we're
saying,
going
yeah.
for. But anyway,
You know,
they had
that
one of those set up
thingamadoodle.
in their little yard, whatever.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
So
Darko,
it wasn't just us.
Darko translated for us. We got to meet 3. Where were they from?
were they
Iran.
Iranian
Yes.
They
Iranian
were.
refugees, Christian refugees?
And they've
Yes.
actually kept up a little bit with our music
Yeah.
and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
over the years.
2018 was that refugee crisis in Serbia because they were
Yes.
all of these people were coming from Iran, trying to make it to Germany, and there was
Wasn't
some
Well,
illegal
most of them
stuff
were
going on.
from Serbia,
Wasn't it
Syria, actually.
2017
But they were
and
from
2018?
Iran.
Yeah.
Or 26. I just remember some stuff with more of Vitsa where there was some.
That was
I think that was
2015.
2015.
Was that 2015?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Anyway,
Rabbit.
Anyway, so
Back
but
on
they
track.
were Christians.
yes,
Yeah.
Who were fleeing
Yeah.
it was
their country.
really cool.
It was
to
And
meet
cool to
so,
meet them.
yeah.
They were sweet.
So a good concert. And
Yeah.
now-
Besides the evangelist, it was a great time.
oh my word.
I had
was-
just finished reading Frank Peretti's
Visitation.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
the
get them all mixed
visitation.
up.
Yeah.
Visitation, and I don't know. The guy just creeped me out,
Yeah.
and so
It was
I
it was
sat
weird.
by him when we ate dinner afterwards, and he was really not. He was nice. I mean, but when those kind of people
he was
where
creepy nice.
off the platform, so to speak, or whatever, off the evangelist platform, he's approachable, he's nice, not weird off, but then it's like they get overcome or whatever,
Yeah.
with the emotion
hit
and all
by
that kind
the
of stuff.
spirit,
Yeah,
I guess is what they call
Yeah.
that.
So
Anyway,
Anyway,
but
he was
besides
interesting.
that,
anyway,
it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a good concert.
and it was nice that because if you remember right, if I remember right, he preached in English.
yes.
Yes.
Because and then
He
the
did.
pastor
I don't think I was
translated into
listening,
Slovakian or
honestly,
Serbian or whatever it was.
because I don't remember. the
Serbian.
Serbian.
Yeah.
I don't remember it fully, but
I think
Anyway.
I was inside in the air
Really?
conditioning. I don't know. I just don't remember watching him preach.
I think
I
y'all
did.
might
I
have
was right behind
been
him.
I was
over.
outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not
But
seated
I
around.
thought you were too.
Because if I remember, we played some music, he preached, and then we played some more music.
Yes, and then we ate like usual afterwards.
Yes.
Then we
Afterwards.
ate.
Good
That's
stuff.
very important. So now we're on to teen camp.
Yes, let's
Yes.
move on to.
Let's move on to teen camp.
Because and if you
because-
remember,
Yes.
the girls stayed that volunteered from kids camp stayed up.
Yeah, they were still up when we got back.
Yes. Okay.
So
The
I remember
knuckleheads.
that. So let's see if there were 8 of them.
Tiana,
Tiana, Doriana,
Issy,
Issy,
Anastasia, Emma.
Sara, and Gabby as well.
Yes.
Or no, they went, or did they go back
I think
and then come back?
they went back and then came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emma.
They went home and then
Right.
came back.
Right.
Because I
Because
think
Gabi
something
was
they weren't
thinking-
supposed to.
Yeah,
Because Sara
Theodora.
wasn't supposed to be there
Right.
at teen camp, but then she
Showed
was
up.
able to come.
something changed and she was
Who's
able to
af-
come back.
So we have 6 so far.
I think those
Emma,
Um,
y'all already have
Yeah,
Emma.
and then Theodora.
Theodora,
Diana.
Diana,
So
There you
that's
go.
7.
I think that's it.
And
Nevena, maybe.
no. I think that's it. I think those 7.
She came to teen camp. If
Okay.
That makes sense.
because
yeah, yeah.
we had 8.
They didn't. She didn't stay over.
We had
Yeah,
8
but she wasn't
with
there for kids.
Hannah,
That's what I'm saying.
but Hannah wasn't there yet, so it was
Yeah.
7.
Right.
Yeah, so
7.
that was
Anyway,
that was
They
fun.
stayed up, and then so when we got back, they were there, and then on the day when they were cleaning the camp and stuff, again, we weren't involved in that.
Right.
So we decided to take them to Merch AFC for
So that was Sunday.
Yes.
yeah, that was
For
Sunday.
that. Okay.
So
I
while
couldn't remember.
the
Yeah.
teachers and the people who were
We
supposed to do what they were doing.
walked around and got ice cream.
Well, we
I
went.
think.
There was
Yes.
this one shop in
Oh,
Merch
yeah,
AFC
yeah.
that was it
So
pizza?
good.
No,
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 it
Pleska
was
Pizza.
Pleskavitsa and all that
Oh,
stuff.
so good. So we went
Yeah,
there,
I love Pleskavitsa.
and then
There
we
were
got
8
ice
girls.
cream.
Who was the 8th girl? Because we fit 16 people in a 9-passenger van.
Yes.
We had 4 people in
Illegally,
each
but
row, and
anyway.
4. We had.
Oh,
It was
so
3
fun.
rows of 3 seats, and then we had 4 people sitting in the back.
Now I'm
She's
gonna
she's
look.
got
I'm gonna look,
she's
But
got
I have
pictures.
a ton of pictures. so
Anyway, so those 8 girls, so those 7 girls, including Hannah, minus Issy though, we really spent a lot of time with in the coming
Yes.
week.
Oh, here it is.
We had devotions every morning. We went through the book of James.
That's
believe.
correct.
And that was a lot of fun.
There
a
wasn't
good
anyone
time
else.
to
There wasn't? Okay.
It was 15 and 9.
Okay.
Because we put
Because there was the 8 of us.
Yes.
Dad, Mom, and the 6.
and then 7 of them, and that
7 of them.
makes 15.
Exactly.
Because see, 8 would have been Hannah, but she wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So we got to go through the book of James, meet every morning in our cabin with coffee.
yes, because
They weren't allowed to have
They weren't.
They- that
they were
was-
allowed to have coffee as volunteers.
yes, but then they
But
weren't.
then-
So they were drinking like 4 cups a day because
they weren't
of their
allowed to
crazies.
have the camp coffee.
They
See,
had
we
to-
provided. It wasn't like we snuck out coffee.
No.
illegally.
We wouldn't do
provided
that.
them coffee.
Yeah, because Dad would buy.
Yeah.
Well, because Dad's such a coffee drinker
Oh,
that
yeah.
he
we were all
bought
kinda
tons of
just
coffee.
drinkers that week.
I know, but
Obviously, it's
Dad.
camp.
I don't know.
Anyways,
Dad would
so
be drinking more than usual.
we
for him.
provided them coffee in
Yes.
our cabin.
That way,
Because
they could
honestly,
have-
yeah, they were drinking like 4 cups a day, and then it was like no coffee. And
Mm.
for any of you coffee connoisseurs, going from 4 cups to none at all,
you have
is
withdrawals,
not
so.
smart.
But
So
it was really cool. Coffee and devotion with them.
prayer.
And before
fellowship.
that,
It was fun.
because we mentioned this last week and got mixed up weeks, but this was Hannah's first time at Merch AFC.
Right.
Yes. Because we didn't go to Mordavi, so we wanted to.
So we wanted her
See her.
we
to,
wanted to see her.
and so we invited her, and she worked out her schedule so she could come for teen camp.
Right.
And so this was her first major Christian camp, like Merch AFC standard.
Yeah.
So she was super excited, and we had connected her with some of our friends from Merch AFC, so they were meeting for the first time. So that was really cool. And mainly Issy and Dory. We had like
Yeah.
a text group, and it was nuts in there. Just saying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we would wake up early, like probably 4:30 for me, 4:35 ish. I don't know
No,
about
y'all
Abby.
weren't that early because I would wake up at 5 and y'all weren't.
I'm
out
pretty
of bed
sure
yet.
I was more like 5:30ish.
I don't know what
5:15.
you were.
I
No,
don't-
just kidding.
Wow.
Anyway, we met.
I got up first. I was the first one up at like 5, and then Naomi
When did
would
we-
be waking up
When did
when
we
I got out of the
when
shower.
did we
True.
meet for devotions? with the
7 during
girls?
while the teachers met at 7,
So
and Mom would go to that, and so
Yeah.
we had our coffee and devotions
so
at
I
7.
think we would meet at 6:30
yeah, so I'm
with
sure I was
Issy,
at
because
6.
Issy had to be at the teachers meeting.
right.
So we met with Issy, Dory, and
I
Hannah
think we
for
met
like
more
a
like
small group,
6:15.
6:30 for like a small, close
Yeah.
friends
Yeah.
I mean,
devotion.
the sun would be peeking up because it's
Oh no, the
summer.
sun would
And
be
we'd
up.
be freezing
Yeah.
because it was cold.
Well, it was just fun.
That
So
was the
we-
great thing about Serbia. I think we've mentioned this
yeah.
in one of our weeks, is that the sun was up 5
Mhm.
o'clock
Oh yeah.
in the
Yeah.
morning,
So
which is unusual.
Naomi and I would meet with Hannah, Issy, and Dory early in the morning, fairly early, and have our little devotion together. And then Issy, of course, needed to go to the teachers'
Right.
meeting.
And then we'd
so
meet
we
back
would
at our
meet with
cabin.
the other girls
Yeah.
at 7.
Yeah.
So like double duty on devotion.
Yes, it was
really awesome.
It was a really great way to start the day because we could talk
Yeah.
about stuff that happened the day before.
was-
Just really like,
That was definitely my highlights from my week.
oh yeah,
Definitely.
Also, I mean, since we're on the like just the relationship part
Mhm.
of teen camp before we get into any ukulele teaching stuff.
Yeah.
This year I don't remember me personally really doing this a lot. Y'all might have done it, you guys. But we were actually they allowed us to be a part of the different groups for games.
This was not the first year, but
I hadn't really done it
Um,
before. I don't remember having really done
but
it before.
this-
Maybe once or twice. I
but
don't know.
I think maybe this was the first time
Let me just-
for some of us, but like for me,
Watch.
I was and that was the thing about, we talked about at kids camp 2018. Usually for me, especially me and Jacob and Jean-Marc, we would be a part of the games and stuff, and the
Yeah.
early part of the kids camp we weren't, like the first, but then of course, I mean, we talked about it last week about
we
the-
worked some stuff
yeah.
out.
Yeah, so we were a part of. Not only were we able
Well,
to
this week-
teach.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
talking.
Sorry.
Not only were we able to, we were just more involved in the teen camp. We usually are, just
Yeah.
because they're teens.
There's a
Yes.
reason for that, and I'll
Um,
share it when you're finished.
Thank you for
You're
explaining that.
She's seizing her moment.
That's funny.
So not only were we able to spend time with the kids teaching wise, thankfully we were also able to each separately be a part of a different group, because they would split them up into groups of teams for the games, and so we were able to be a part of most of that. I don't think I was a part of every activity, but most of them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that was fun. Anyway,
The reason we were able to be more involved is because this camp was led by Marina, and
yes.
she was part of our original music camp. She was there
Yes.
for the first 2 years,
Mhm.
and she might have been there interspersed over the next few years.
Like we ran into her at concerts and stuff like that.
But I think were there other camps that she might have been a part of?
She was part of the first camp.
First two.
She wasn't in 2014.
Okay.
We saw her because when we went to Niche.
Okay.
and all that.
Okay.
And then she was part of the 2015 kids camp, and then I think she was in the kitchen in 2016 or
Yeah.
something like that. And then 2017 she wasn't, or maybe I don't remember. But then 2018,
she was
so
the leader.
it was her
so
first time
every now and
leading a
then,
camp.
I mean, we'd see her at a concert if we went to Niche,
Mhm.
or when we would stay with the Atomics, and there were certain camps that she worked with us. So she knew us, we knew her, and
She
there was
knew
a
our
level
heart.
right. There was also a level of trust
Mhm.
and confidence in each other to
Right.
work things out.
And I think
it didn't mean it wasn't without its problems. There were
Right.
some real issues in teen camp among the. I don't know. There was one. Was this the year that they had the issue with Christian, Saleh's brother?
Yes.
Yeah, because there were him and 2 others
Yeah.
who were troublemakers.
Right.
I'm not saying that meanly. They just were out of control.
Yeah.
Because none of them have a stable home life.
Right.
And one actually had to go home and he was like crying because he wanted to stay. Remember that?
Yeah. I think
Dolly Boy.
Yes.
I think I remember that.
I don't remember why he had to go home. Maybe y'all do. It was like the 4th day.
I think
It was something he did that was
yeah.
egregious enough that they sent him home.
Yeah.
I can't remember what
I
it
think
was.
part of it was, well, yeah, pretty much it was he did something and they were just
Plus,
like,
he was the instigator.
he was the
in a lot of
instigator.
the trouble
Yeah.
they had. But as far as among the teachers, though, it was fairly
Right.
well.
But I think that it
oiled.
helped that we weren't there as much. Mom was kind of our barrier in that because
Buffer.
kids camp, buffer. Because kids
Barrier.
camp had been so stressful.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was just spiritually and emotionally, I was so worn out.
Yeah.
And so she was like, you know what? Y'all don't need this. So we were
remember
doing the
saying that.
devotionals in the cabin with the girls and just being with the kids. So that camp, I just remember being completely hands off with the teachers and just trusting Mom that she'd communicate what would need to be communicated.
Yeah. Well,
And that it was just a lot. It was like a breather.
especially we knew that this was going to be our last
Yeah.
camp.
Right. We didn't need
Teen
that.
camp. Yeah, and
Those
we wanted
mental battles.
it to be the best it can be on our
Right.
end, the best
Right.
we could make it. And we did tell the kids the first night
I remember
Right.
that.
Yes.
that this would be our last camp. We didn't want to wait till the last night. We didn't
Yeah.
want to wait
Right.
till halfway through. We wanted to just let it out of the gate. This has been communicated to the last camp. This is going to
Right.
be
Yeah.
our last
And I
year
think that
coming to
helped
March
the
IFC.
teens lay down a lot of things.
Yeah.
So that because if they knew that this was their last week with us, that they wouldn't worry about all those petty drama stuff that can sometimes happen with the
Yeah.
teens.
Yeah.
So it was just, I'm glad we did. It was hard.
Yeah.
But that first night, right out of the gate, it was a shock to many of them. They weren't expecting it. A few already knew from being with us at kids camp. But I think it really helped the camp go even smoother. I remember staying up late just about every night, especially with the teens that we were closest to, because they wanted as much time with us, and we were there, and we wanted as much time with them. So
yeah.
Anyway,
fun.
so into ukulele teaching, we had 5 groups? 4.
5, because you and I had a massive
we
advanced.
had
We had like
so
30 something
many
advanced
returning campers,
that were good,
that were
Right.
good.
and so you took.
That were
I took the
advanced.
more advanced.
You took the more advanced, and I
Right.
took more like the first time advanced.
Right. You had the
Class.
kids that had just upgraded.
Yeah.
Plus ones that were, I think there were a couple that had been in the advanced group before, but that were a little bit slower than the
They
others.
were probably younger.
Right. And I had the
Plus, I had Dory.
well
as-
advanced.
I had Dory.
Yeah,
as
Dory
my
was your translator. Hana was mine.
There was one guy, Andre, this was his first time in the advanced group, but he was like so ahead of the others. I'm like,
I
You're
remember
going
first
to
day
Jacob.
you brought him to me.
practices like crazy, just
Well-
his personality.
Well,
But
he's very good.
He's also an incredible musician. I mean,
Yeah.
he's now taking, guitar. He's gotten into a little piano.
That's
He's
cool.
just
Right.
really, even now he's still learning stuff. He's really wanting, if he
Yeah.
he had the chance of playing in a band, he would take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He loves
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He
I
went-
remember having
and so-
Emma was in my group.
Yeah.
Sofia
Sara.
Milosavljevic.
Oh.
Sara wasn't there
I
that year.
remember that.
That was a heartbreak
that
story.
Was a tough one.
Sada-
It was a school thing
Yeah,
that she had,
Sada-
but then it got canceled at the last
yes.
minute.
And
Right.
then Vanya, because Vanya, her first year was 2017, and she
Mhm.
absolutely fell in love with our family. We fell in love with her. She was amazing. But she and Sada go to school together, and there was supposed to be a homecoming thing because both of them were entering their senior year of not high school,
No. Elementary. It's elementary school.
elementary. Okay, I didn't know what they called it.
Basically coming out of 8th grade.
Yes. And there was some kind of homecoming meeting thing that they were supposed to do during that week of camp, and it got canceled the day before. And so when they found out that
Yeah.
that was our last week, it was they were
They
both
were,
crying.
yeah. Well-
And, but we
Yeah.
got to see them. I'm
Yes.
really thankful we got to see them. They came the last day to pick up Sophia, and so they spent the last day with us. So
Well, even more of
Yes.
a heartbreaker was they also found out that we were I think it was our last concert. We were performing, or no, second to last.
Last concert was in Ruski Kostur.
Right.
With the
so it was the
Getsons.
second to last, I believe, was the Centaur Church. Yeah.
Yeah.
One
of the last.
Or
No,
maybe
I don't
it
think that
third
was
to
the
last.
last.
It was
The
third.
second-
because
so
we
was the
did
middle.
we went from there to Poncherville. Because we stayed in Poncherville after.
Yeah, but after Centaur Church was Sheed, yeah?
Uh,
Or was she before Centaur
I
Church?
think Sheed was before Centaur Church,
Okay.
but I think we might have done Smederevo after Centaur Church.
No,
Or was
I can
that
tell
before?
you. I can tell you, Centaur Church.
We're not
was
talking about the
anyway.
concert.
I know.
Then
I know,
I think
but-
we did do Centaur Church and then Ruski Kostur.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So anyway, but with the Centaur Church, so they found out that we were going to perform there, and they live
right in
there.
Belgrade, yeah.
And so they were really excited. They wanted to come, see us one last time, all that. Anyway, when they came to pick up Sophia, their dad surprised them with like a trip to Greece or something like that the next week, so they wouldn't be able to see us. And that just, you know,
Yeah.
if there's one moment you don't want a vacation, it's that moment,
Yeah.
So, well,
Oh,
it was
man.
tough.
Anyway.
on
It was
them.
tough.
Back to
So,
teen
But anyway,
camp. I don't
Yeah.
mean to-
Advanced class.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay. Advanced class.
So
So I had
I
all
felt
the.
like I was cutting off.
No, it's
No,
okay.
no,
no, you're good. You're
back
good.
to teen camp. This was my first time teaching advanced class
By yourself.
by myself. I was
Yes.
super nervous. So glad I had Dory with me to just like keep me calm. And there was some other girls that I shared my just fear of like, I don't feel like I'm good enough to do this.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Was
you know all
Anastasia
the
with you too?
stuff, but teaching that, I
think she was. I don't remember her being in mine.
No, she might have been with me. This might have been her first year as advanced.
That's what I was thinking.
Anyway, so I was super nervous, but overall it went well, and they were great, and so very gracious because I was hemming and hawing sometimes, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
This was also at Merch FC the only time that I've ever run out of stuff to teach. Because we went through the entire advanced
Yeah, I remember that.
section, and then we just started doing praise and worship stuff.
Mhm.
Actually, Sanel, who was at teen camp that year,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
so it was Donnie, Sanel, Marina,
Sonia.
Sonia, Issy, of course.
Mhm.
Was it the red-haired lady thing?
Oh, Tatiana. That was
Tatiana.
her first.
That was her
Tatiana
first
and
and only time with
Sonia.
us.
Those were their first time with us.
They were really sweet.
First
were.
and only. Anyway, yeah. And in fact, Sonia and Sanel are now married.
Married and
And
have a
have-
son.
And they met there.
Whose
They
name
met
is
there.
That's cool.
whose name is Joshua, which I
Or
am kinda-
Joshua, I
I
think
mean,
is
I
what
know it's
Joshua. It's
whatever,
different, Josh.
but
It's different.
Same Joshua.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Anyway, point
we
is,
keep
Sanel
up
had
with
written
them.
a song
Yes.
that he was teaching to the camp, and they were singing it and stuff. And we were like, "Hey, why don't we learn this and
That's
surprise
cool.
Sanel
That's
with it?" Yeah, we
cool.
surprised Sanel with it on the
Oh,
last
Oh
night.
yeah, I
Remember
remember
that?
that now.
Yeah,
Cool.
one of the only
So-
times I've ever seen a Serbian man cry.
Aw.
because they don't.
Well, he was both.
They
They
don't.
don't
They're very unemotional.
He was what?
extremely. Well, I mean, unemotional in an emotion. Okay, so like they're happy. I mean,
Yes.
they'll be happy. They'll be
passionate about
passionate
whatever, you know.
about like competitively
They
passionate.
are a
But
more
when it comes-
stoic people. I
Yeah.
have to say, because I remember we used to have a picture of the Getsons, and it was like the year we met them,
Mhm.
and seriously, no smiles. Maybe Jovitsa was smiling, but
Well,
like
'cause
This is that.
Jovitsa's a
way.
happy guy,
Right.
but like no smiles. And I remember seeing that, I'm like,
right.
this is y'all's family picture?
Well,
like-
speaking of
And so
Jovica, I
years
remember
later.
Issy telling me one time that she's only seen her dad cry 3 times in her entire life.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I've seen my dad cry
a lot.
way over
But
the
dad's one of those. He's a softie at heart.
I like
But
that.
anyway, back to this. So
It's an amazing
So to get
week
that-
if I don't cry sometimes.
right.
And
But to get that reaction
Yeah.
out of him
Yeah.
meant a ton
It was awesome.
because they don't show that kind of emotion,
Wow,
that soft,
I never
tender
realized that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
kind
And
of emotion.
I
They
guess
just
we
don't
come
do that.
from an emotional family because, I mean, Jacob, you're probably
We've got a
the one
lot of
who
Irish,
cries
and
the
I think that's where it
least.
comes from.
What?
We've got a lot of Irish, and
Oh.
I think that's where it comes from.
You were talking,
The
your mouth
Irish
was moving,
cries?
but I was not listening.
Who are you
Anyway,
listening to?
Wow.
Your
my
brain.
head was somewhere
Your brain. You're
Sorry.
listening to your
No,
brain.
it's fine.
Anyway, so how was y'all's groups?
Our
split up?
group
It
was,
was-
awesome. Yeah.
Were y'all together?
Yes, we were together.
I did the signs.
Yeah,
The
she did the
signs.
signs. I did most
You
of
don't
the
sing,
talking
you
and
sign.
all that. We had Issy as our
Yes.
translator. She did.
This was my
Wasn't-
first
wasn't
time
Jakob there?
translating. No,
No,
he wasn't.
he was not there. The
Okay.
only time I was able
Jakob.
to see him was
No,
Centaur
he
Church.
was not there at the
Dang it.
camps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he
Yeah.
had the issue with his eye or whatever.
Right.
And that
He was supposed to be there, but then he had to.
He started having health issues.
having-
Yeah.
yeah. So this
He's a
was
lot better
Issy's
now.
first
We
time
did see him
translating.
at
Centaur Church, and he
Centaur
actually
Church.
ended up translating, which was so cool.
Oh
So-
yeah,
Was
I
it?
remember
Yeah.
that.
I thought Yoda was translating, or was that the first
No.
year?
that was the
that
first
was the
year.
first time.
She was
Okay.
in the audience with the mic.
I remember that.
Yes.
Anyway, this was Issy's first time translating for Joshua.
Yeah.
And she, I may have been a distraction during class. Just
Couple times
because
it wasn't that bad, honestly.
She and I would start talking, and I'd
Bad
say
girl.
something to make her laugh, and then she couldn't translate. Anyway, but it was a lot of fun. We had a good class.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I might have taken Saleh aside one time because he was struggling. I remember taking aside one student one day, 1 or 2 days.
Remember.
I don't remember who it was.
So y'all's group was together. Then John Mark was
John
with
Mark
Donnie,
Yes.
was with
Yes.
Donnie, and I believe that he was by himself. I
He
don't
was
believe
by
Mom
Yeah.
Then
taught
I
any
think we
groups
only
that
had
year.
4 groups.
Yeah, we only had
only
four
had four
groups.
groups.
1, 2, 3,
John Mark 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Because
only
I
had
don't believe
4
Mama
groups.
taught anybody.
Yeah, I
No,
believe
I
she
think
was
Mom
running
was
referee for.
she was doing other
Teachers.
things. Yeah.
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 But
So,
anyway,
but yeah, we had a great group. I mean,
And then
all
Dad
the
and
kids
Justice
did
were,
so well,
you know,
and
doing whatever.
it was fun.
doing what they
Yeah.
do.
They're doing what they do.
Yep.
So, any fun memories?
Well, that year was the first year that we'd done Cotton Eye Joe and the Virginia Reel, but this was the first time that we did the Boot Scoot Boogie line dance.
Yes,
But
but
we
we
did it
didn't do it to
to-
Boot Scoot and
We
Boogie.
did
No.
it.
We did it
Can't
to
Stop the Feeling. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
From
but there was
Trolls.
there was a Christian song that we did it to too.
I don't remember.
Oh.
One of their
Yeah, but I don't
things that
remember
they like to
what
listen
it
to.
was. But we
I
did
don't
that
I
for
just remember Can't Stop
morning
the Feeling.
exercise.
Mhm.
yes.
So we taught them
Yeah.
that dance, and they
The line
we
dance,
still
yeah.
see
We
pictures
actually-
from camp.
That
of
was
they'll
another
do
thing
it
at
camp.
kids camp. We weren't a part of exercise,
yes.
and so like in years past,
yeah, we
I
had
mean,
been a major part of it.
the main dances were at teen camp, but I mean, we were still. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, I do.
Maybe
have
I'm
to-
wrong.
I do have to say we were a part of it, but we didn't lead it. Does that make
I
sense?
wasn't a part of it.
I was.
The only one we led was the only one we led were the American dances. So the
Right.
Cotton Eye Joe,
Yeah.
the Virginia Reel,
Yeah.
the line dance.
So they did let us. I'm sorry.
They
I'm getting
we did
No,
those,
it's okay.
but
Okay.
the other
I'm
ones,
getting confused.
You interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
Literally,
the
I
other
just
ones
talked
that
about
we
it.
did we did not lead. We participated.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we weren't leading them.
So yeah,
Are
that
y'all
was
done?
fun doing
We're
that.
just talking.
That was fun. Oh, what was the?
Okay, what I was saying before, we got mixed up.
Rudely interrupted her.
Yeah. Anyway,
she just
no, but
corrected me.
we still see pictures where teens who have been to our camps, they'll be doing the
Pictures
dances.
and videos. Yeah,
Yes.
it's cool.
It's so
Because
sweet.
line dancing is a thing.
It's
It's not in the way that we do it. So an American line dance, you have a line,
they have
lines of people,
dances.
but it'd be kind of a
They once
massive
tried to
square
teach
dance.
us
They
the
call
dance,
it the
I don't
colo.
think we did it.
Yeah.
very well.
We did one. They call it the colo, and it's it's like
Where's
a
your cat?
massive square dance. So there's like a circle of
yeah.
I don't know 15, 20 people. No, it's not.
Abby's
Square
like,
dances
well, we did in
aren't really
Israel.
square.
Kidding.
It's the.
Wow.
I mean, they did it. We did it one time in Israel too, but it was that one was slightly different.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, they taught us one of their. They call them colos.
Mm-hmm.
They're the traditional dances that they play.
Yeah.
They play traditional
Yeah.
music
It was a lot
with.
of
It's
fun.
fun. Anyway,
Uzichki or something like that, I think is what they call
yeah,
that
something like
particular
that.
one.
No,
Anyway.
the cool thing about the dancing though is the last night.
We stayed up.
We stayed up.
They
because-
wanted to pull an all-nighter, but the
then it was
teachers said
well, but they wanted
Noise
them
regulations.
to get some rest
Yes.
before leaving and all that kind of stuff. But so after the finale concert, we were taking pictures, we were signing ukuleles, all that kind of stuff, and we were like, hey, why don't we just have some fun, do some dances and different stuff. And so we pulled out. We did the line dance one last time. And
Then we did
I
it to
think
the
we
real
did-
one.
Well, we did it to Can't Stop the Feeling Like Normal. And then I was like, hey, let's do it to the real one. And I'll never forget, Hannah looked at me like, y'all listen to that? I'm like,
yeah.
it's country, man. Anyway.
That's funny.
And then we also did the, hey, that one.
Yeah, that one.
There was another one I think we might have
DJ,
done.
what's his name?
Didn't
that
we
does
do
it.
the
What's he or something
one
like
of
that?
the ones we learned from World Race? Maybe. No.
No.
I just
I
remember
don't think we did
something
that.
with
There
the
was one
hands.
other. There
Oh
was-
yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember
Something
what
with
song
the-
they did that
something
with.
with the
Yeah.
hands.
Anyway, so
YMCA.
that was
The
fun.
last
No, it
night
wasn't.
was a lot of fun. Even though it was hard, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The 8 girls. I know I don't know. We need to come up with a name for anyway. Those 8 girls, they surprised us with like a short film kind of thing, talking about working with us and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah. I remember
we
that.
cried so hard.
Man. Speaking of the
But it was really
last-
sweet. And they did bloopers too.
Oh yeah.
Because Hannah's laughing. Booba.
Booba. It's bug.
It means word for bug.
Oh,
Anyway, so
Um,
we laughed, we cried.
I
Moved me,
remember
Bob.
one special memory, and we can go through special memories and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Is there was, I guess, I don't know, I don't remember this from years before, but I remember in 2018 there was this, because they were building new things.
Mhm.
So they were building like a low ropes course and a high ropes course.
Right.
Something in
They had
that.
finished the low ropes, if I remember correctly,
I think they might have, because I think
because
we
we did
might have
some of
done it.
them.
But there was this back in the woods, there was this spot where whenever I needed a moment
this
I
is me
would-
having a moment. No, just
with
kidding.
my daughter. It was a little psycho. Anyway, in the woods,
Where the new campfire was, or
No,
or
it
the
was-
archery.
not that far. It was around where the low ropes course was, because there was like a wooden thing they had built into the tree where you could sit there.
Right.
And I would sit there and look up at the trees and just like be in my safe place. And I remember I needed to get there right before. This is so me thinking about memories, but like my hair was super sweaty that night. I did not like my hair that night. And I had planned on taking a shower, but what happened was there was some drama with some other person at the camp, and I just like, I need a moment. And because I wasn't ready to do the last night. Anyway, so I go to my spot and I just sit there, and then I really got to know Dory more. I mean, she was with me a lot, both camps, but especially in teen camp, because of course she was my translator. And so our friendship kind of grew, especially. I mean, we had known her like ever since we started going to Serbia, but I really got to know her on a personal level at that camp. And it was, she came and found me because I think she was like one of the only ones who knew. Naomi might have known. But anyway, no, she didn't. Anyway, Dory was one of the only ones. So she knew I'd be there.
You told me about it, but I never like saw it.
Yeah, it was such a beautiful spot. I want a spot like that somewhere.
That's how Abby's going to buy her house. Just kidding.
Anyway, so anyway, she came, found me there, and was that's we have computers.
I think that's supposed to be
that-
off.
That was real, folks.
That was
Anyway.
interesting.
Go ahead, Abby.
No, go figure. We have computers. It makes sounds.
Usually they're muted.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
She came, found me, was there for me right before the last night. So it was kind of like, anyway, that's a special memory. If that's probably sounds really like discombobulated, but
No.
that was really that spot, and was really my go-to spot when I
Right.
needed to take a break from the drama.
Yeah.
So special memories. Special memory time.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go
Wow.
next.
What? Did I have something on my
No,
face?
I was just
You're just
poking.
being weird?
Yes.
Stop. Okay. Those who are seeing the visual can see. Anyway.
I wonder how many watched the visual.
I don't know. We should
Let us know.
I know Uncle Larry does.
Yeah.
Hi, Uncle Larry.
Let's see. Well, so because I was with Issy like all the time, I got to know her cabin really well. This was her first time
Oh, I remember that.
doing the cabin by herself, and it didn't take long for the girls to figure out that we were best friends. Because I would
Aw.
go in there and just mess around with Issy, and that included I loved waking her up from her nap because it was perfect opportunity for a prank. Anyway, well, the girls got the idea.
You were a bad example.
I don't know about that, but so Issy was on a mattress on the floor, and Masha was in her cabin, and she slept on one of the top bunks. And so she decided it would be a good idea to wake Issy up by jumping down and bouncing on the mattress. Scared Issy half to death, but it was worth it. It was hilarious. Anyway,
Oh my word.
so
That's funny.
I just remember hanging out with that
That
group.
is so
I think
funny.
there was like 6 girls in her cabin.
Yeah.
Like I brought a toad in there one time.
A toad?
I made,
Wow.
yeah.
I-
Anyway, it was
I
just a
can
lot of
just
fun.
imagine that.
They were having a lot of great conversations, and like even Hannah, I remember because she's a pastor's daughter, and then Theodora, Jovan's sister.
Yes.
Yes.
So
She's a
she
pastor's
had
daughter.
she's pastor's daughter,
Yeah.
and she's had that struggle of she knew she was supposed to do these things, but she didn't feel like it, and then she felt guilty, and so
Yeah.
stuff like
Izzy?
that. No, Theodora.
Theodore.
Peely.
So
Thank you,
yes.
sorry. I was trying
So
to
I
connect the
remember
dots.
her and like Hannah was in the cabin one time just having a really good conversation with her. And anyway, so there was just a lot of good conversations going around. S'mores night was a lot of fun. I remember that because I don't know, I just got really high in a good way. Just like it was just such a fun night doing the
Yeah.
s'mores, goofing off with friends, and then the worship music. So that I remember that night
S'mores
was a lot of
night.
fun. And then the last night, they did the whole America's Got Talent thing, and this was Mom and Dad's first time.
Was that the last night?
It was either the
It wasn't
it
the
was the
last
second
night.
to
It was the
last night.
I thought that was like the first or second night, like right out of the gate.
I don't
No, it
think
was
so.
towards the end. I think it was the third or fourth night. Because you're right, it wasn't the last night.
I
Yeah.
think it was,
was.
the fourth
I don't
night.
remember.
When was
Because the
s'mores
last night, Donnie and Sunel did a thing.
S'mores night
That was
It was the
interesting.
third night.
was the third
So
night.
it was either
S'mores
the
night was
fourth.
Wednesday night.
I think it was the fourth or fifth night. I don't know. But they did the America's Got Talent thing, and Marina asked mom and dad to join in. So that was their first time. So it was mom, dad, Donnie, and Tatiana. There's four.
No,
Was it
it was
Donnie?
no, it wasn't
Sunil?
Donnie. Donnie was like
I think it
Donnie was the
host.
MC.
host, MC,
Okay.
whatever,
I think it was
whatever his
Mom,
name is.
Dad,
Yeah,
It was
Sunil.
Sunel.
Mom,
Sunel.
Dad, Sunel.
What's her name? It's not Snezhina. It's Slavica.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was she a teacher?
Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
don't remember her. So-
Because she was
I
the
have to
real
see the
weepy, emotional.
No, that was mom. Because mom. had
Then
the
I'm
t-shirt.
thinking of a
That
different year.
was.
I'm thinking
I
of a
think
different
that was
year.
at kids camp, wasn't it?
That might have been a
in
different year.
kids
Camp
camp. So
2017.
it was just
So,
the three then.
No,
I thought Tatiana did it.
I think she did.
So it was mom, dad, Sunel, and Tatiana.
Tatiana
That
was
sounds
a level
right.
headed
And then
one.
Donnie
I think
was
so. I don't know.
Donnie
only,
was the
like,
MC.
true judge.
Yes. So Sunel was supposed to be like always something positive, like really gushy, fake positivity. Then dad was like the uber critical, like Simon Cowell, which he's really good at. No offense to dad, it was just he played the part really, really well.
Oh man, that was funny.
Because anyway,
He
And
was
then
nice to the
Mom-
girls, though.
then so Tatiana I
He
think
was
was
nice to the
actually the
girls.
normal judge.
That's the guys he would be like.
Really, dad is a softie toward.
And then
girls,
mom
just
was the
saying.
real gushy, emotional.
Then yes, she had the tissues, everything. So, mom at camp, we don't really care what we look like at camp, but we do. The last night, usually we put on makeup, dress up because it's the last night, and the girls will bring a prom dress or something, and the guys will have button-down shirts. It's just especially for the teens, they treat it kind of like a party night, prom night,
Oh yeah.
kind of thing. So and usually if the girls haven't seen us before, Abby and I look totally different than when we usually
No, we
do.
don't.
Well, I feel like I do.
Totally different.
Well, the girls would go, "Oh, you look so pretty." I'm like,
I try
thank
not
you.
to look totally
Okay.
different in makeup.
Anyway,
do.
or my hair's
Just
up all the
like that.
time and I choose to wear it down. Anyway, for mom, same thing. She doesn't wear makeup, whatever. Even the last night, she's not super worried because it's not about her. It's
Yeah.
about the kids performing and doing their stuff. Anyway, but this night, she put on makeup, had her hair up in like a super high ponytail, and I lost count of how many girls looked at me like, "Your mom looks amazing." Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
But they loved her, and like it was just again that's who she is. Like she loves doing that,
Speaking
playing
of mom,
with the kids.
yeah.
being
Speaking
the
of mom, I have a memory.
Okay,
when
well,
you're
just
done.
say so. Anyway, and you really got to see that because she loved playing with the kids, playing her part and everything. And while Donnie and like his whole cabin did some kind of thing, I don't remember what it was, but with the water bottles and spitting the water. I think it was with the song. Anyway, but
I remember
Bo scared everybody when they spit the water. That was hilarious. Anyway,
That was one of the
the
weirder
germaphobe
things.
over there is shaking his head. But I just.
What did they do?
They were doing
I hate it
something
when
with
they do
the
that.
song, and they had water bottles, and they drank the water, and then like spit the water on the.
Acting like fountains. It was. I don't remember
It
why.
was some.
remember-
It was fun. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway,
I don't remember
um,
that.
so
I mean, I
after
remember it,
mom
but not, like,
gave her
clearly.
critique and stuff, like she got a group hug, and we have a picture. A group hug with all those teenage guys. I just thought it was so sweet, and it's just that picture is like the essence of who our mom is.
Yeah.
So it was a lot.
and there
of
was
fun.
one girl, Katarina. She and Bossy were there
yes.
that year.
Yes.
Together.
No, he wasn't. He was in
Bossy
your
was
group.
in my group.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
He
think
is fun.
Katarina was in mine.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. She has a beautiful
Oh, she has
voice.
a knockout.
And that was the one Daddy was like,
Oh yeah.
you know, the one Simon Cowell's like,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Dad-
That's the one
Dad
Daddy
did
said.
not criticize
Yeah.
her at all.
She did a really good job. And I know she struggled a lot with just how she looked and that
Yeah.
she wasn't like other girls, and just seeing her kind of come to life that
Yeah.
camp was really
But she
cool.
could sing.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Well,
nobody's
honestly,
business.
the one, if I may jump in right quick on this part,
Mm-hmm.
the one that shocked everybody was Teodora Mudrich.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
seriously,
yeah.
she got up there and she started singing. We were just like, who is this
Like
girl?
we keep up with her
'cause
on Instagram.
She does coffee shop stuff now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Like,
she has a beautiful
this
voice,
was her
yeah.
4th camp because she had
Yeah.
been since 2015, and we've kind of gotten to know her and her cousin Andrea.
She was
Just
always
very
very
nice.
She's one of the
quiet,
more
She was
though.
low-key
always
ones.
very,
Yeah.
but she was always very quiet. I mean, she was solid as in the ukulele.
Was
but
she in my
you never
group that
really
year or
got to
yours?
see her
I can't remember.
She
just
might have been in
you
yours 'cause
know,
I don't remember her.
Mhm.
just shine. And
I
that
just remember
night,
her
I mean,
being in one of the
seriously, I was
advanced
just like,
groups.
It was
Wow.
amazing. And we
Oh,
keep
yeah.
up with her on Instagram. Like
'Cause she
I
did-
do personally and the band. And she plays piano, guitar, ukulele. Like she'll have her ukulele and be
Because
singing.
she did a pop song.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't The Sound of Silence. It was something.
I thought it was.
Maybe
no,
it was.
Andrea did the sound of
Andrea did
silence.
Sound
Okay.
of Silence.
Oh,
it was
okay,
it was
sorry.
something else. It was
I don't remember.
one of those acoustic pop
Mhm.
song things. She
Yeah.
did on the ukulele.
It was so cool.
It was
So, I mean,
really cool.
that's why the first reason, first and foremost, was sharing the gospel and
Yeah.
being Jesus to those kids. But the second reason was to share our love of music. And like y'all mentioned, Andre, Theodore, I mean, Theodore, Mamika, she's into worship teams now.
Yeah.
She plays the keyboard, plays ukulele, plays guitar, sings, so there were those kids that had that love and talent for music, and going to camps with us just boosted them
Oh,
to
yeah.
pursue that dream. And so
Right.
it's really cool to keep up with them and see who's really into music and playing other instruments and singing.
Yeah,
and stuff.
or even if, because oftentimes, sports is huge over there.
Mhm.
And even if they're more into sports, sometimes they'll pull out their ukulele and like play something on Instagram, and you're just like, "Hey, that's so cool."
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your thing
It
about
was a
Mom?
funny memory. I don't remember when they started this, but when kids would leave stuff around the camp,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
and someone else would pick it up. Now there
Mhm.
were some kids who were. This was another pranking thing where they would steal something
me
out of the
included.
room.
Me included.
And
I took
put it-
Izzy's shoes.
And put it. Okay, so they had a box that if someone found something just laying around
Yes.
that wasn't in its place,
Yeah,
that they would
was
put it
my
in the
worst
box.
Nightmare. I was like, I don't want to
Yes.
make it.
I seriously,
And
that's
then
why I
Donnie would
protected my
do-
stuff and everything. But I did it once, and I was like,
I don't think I
not
ever
do
did it.
I did it once.
I didn't
because
have to-
Donnie would MC it, and he would come up with these crazy things that people had to do.
Oh, this was, I
Um,
don't want to be embarrassed.
so the thing that was Mama had left something, which is unusual for her. She's just a
No,
natural.
I think someone took something of her.
So-
no,
kid-
no, 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 no.
No. She
left. She
something.
absentmindedly.
Okay,
it's
I'm
not.
sorry. I
It's
thought
not
someone
normal
took
for our
it.
mom to forget stuff and leave
Now
stuff
they
around.
took great pleasure that she had to do it, but anyway.
And then I found Issy's phone,
yes, that was the other thing.
and
Now her shoes, I took.
yeah, but her phone, I found it laying in one of the seats after one of the morning classes or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
I was like,
Anyway.
put it in there. Anyway, she and Mom did this British skit. I don't know if you
Yes.
remember that.
Yes.
Yes, because Issy has an amazing
Mama can
British
do it pretty
accent.
good.
Mama
And
can.
do it
Mama
pretty
has a
good,
real good one, but hers sounds like her just with the accent.
too. Issy
Issy
sounds like a
sounds
completely different
nothing
person.
like her
Like,
normal
yes,
voice.
Yeah, a
Yep.
completely
And
different
I got her
person.
to do. She can do multiple. She's just really shy about it. But I got her. So she did British. She would do French for me and Indian, which is rare because it's really funny and kind of embarrassing.
Right.
Indian,
But she
as
did-
in like
Indian,
Like Tim Hawkins, Indian. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
but
Nice.
obviously more
I can help you
realistic.
double
Right.
two.
Yes. Anyway, go ahead.
so. Anyway, so she and Mom got up and did the British skit or whatever.
Yes.
Anyway,
Completely improv.
yes.
So like Issy had to watch Mom and try and figure out where she wanted to go with
it
it.
was just really
That
funny
was awesome.
It was a lot
to
of fun.
watch Mom and her
Yeah.
do that. But truly, her Issy's
Got their
British
stuff. What did Mama lose?
accent. I don't remember.
I
Was
think,
it flip flops?
I
don't
think
remember.
it was either that or like a ponytail or something
Yeah.
like really small that she wouldn't notice that she
Yeah.
lost.
I thought
Because
it
usually
might
mom's
have been,
really
like,
aware.
sunglasses or something.
Yeah,
It may have
Mom
been
doesn't. Our
sunglasses,
mom is a
that's
very
what it is.
tidy person. She
Yep.
doesn't usually leave stuff around.
Yeah.
So, for her to misplace something is highly unusual.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But she had a lot on her plate, and if
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
something really small,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
So it was a great camp overall. And again, I'm so thankful to Mom for being that buffer for us.
Yeah.
And even Dad, too, got a little bit more involved with the teacher stuff because usually he just did manual labor around. But there
Right.
wasn't a lot of that going on. So just he and Mom
that
being
he
that
was
buffer for
allowed to
us.
Yeah.
And letting us really take in that last week where we have all of these amazing memories and pictures and videos.
Yeah.
And so the last night we were going to stay up, but then, the teachers thought it would be better if we got like at least a few hours of sleep.
Right.
But we still woke up early. We played a couple volleyball games one last time before some of the campers left and stuff like that. And we made sure that they knew where all our concerts were
Yes.
Right.
so that they could plan to come. And we ended up having a ton of campers.
Yeah.
Like Belgrade was
we had
the
at
most
least 8 or 9.
ever. It was a
I
lot.
wanna say we had
it
us.
was over 10.
Maybe a dozen then?
Yep.
Possibly.
It was a lot, which we'll say really cool. Save the story. You may want to listen to the next episode because there's a cool
Yes.
thing that happened at Belgrade with them.
It's really cool.
Anyway, so that way, and also social media and stuff like that. So it was really good
Yes.
that we could
It was really cool.
keep connecting with them and stuff like that.
Do you got,
Shout.
Jacob, any special memories?
I kind of, I mean, y'all have already kind of shared everything. I mean,
Well,
the last night was one of the most emotional nights
Yeah.
that I can ever remember.
oh yeah.
It was what?
I was.
She was being weird, and actually, I was being weird.
And so just it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, but a lot of crying, a lot of hugging, a lot of
Yeah.
pictures and and stuff.
Different
It was a good week though. We had a lot of fun.
It was
Yeah.
definitely a good week.
Yeah.
So for me, there was definitely
Water
just a
games
lot
was
of
fun.
really cool moments.
Water games was awesome.
One of she mentioning the water
got wet
games.
that
One
time.
of
Like
my
soap.
favorite memories happened at that. I don't remember. I think we just did. Because at the kids camp we did like the relay race and then it ended in the slide. I think we just did the slide.
No, because we
Or
did
did
the
we
water
do-
balloons. Remember, we have pictures. There's one of you and Sanel. There's one with me.
Yeah.
There was like a Red Rover version because I remember we had a line and they had to try to break the line. And yeah, there
We
was
didn't
some.
do Red Rover.
It was on. I'm saying Red Rover because
I
that's the
remember
only
we
thing
only
I can
did
think
Red
of.
Rover one time.
And
And
that
was
Mortar
no,
beats it.
but
And
we
after
were
a
in
kid
the-
got clotheslined,
no,
we
was it
never
a
did it again.
But I just remember there was a line and people had to try to pass the line, and then we did the toss, and there's we did
So we did
more
a
than
few
just
different
the
things.
slide.
Anyway, but the last thing we did was the slide.
Yes,
And I remember we were all, just having tons of fun. And Donnie wanted Mom
yes.
to do it with him. And so she was like, okay. And so they get up to the line and he's like, all right, go. So he goes to slide. Well, Mom walks across. She
Right.
so
runs
there's a great
We
picture
oh yes.
of Mom just walking, just
Running
this grin, and
across.
Donnie's just laughing. He's kind of laying
Well,
on
he
this
has,
line.
like,
he's all
this
he's
face.
all
And
laid
everybody
out.
behind.
That's not
Yes.
how you're supposed to.
And everybody else was just dying laughing. It was
Oh,
hilarious.
It was so fun.
And then one of the guy of the three,
Steven.
Steven, of the three volunteers from the camp
Mhm.
that Merch AFC is now a partner with and everything. All of Donnie's group and a few of the other guys had the ceremonial
I remember grabbing him and throwing
Throwing
him
him into the
throw
pool.
him into the pool.
Yes.
But then what was so funny was everybody kind of started jumping in, and that was when Carl Benner got really mad.
Yeah.
He's like, anybody gonna clean this? And I was like, I'll take care, because it was my fault. I jumped in. I was excited.
Oh, and you were
And-
yes.
yes.
dirty.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about
Get
that.
all the grass.
So I spent like 30 minutes taking all the
Speaking-
stuff.
Well,
it was
hey,
it was
good
good.
job on
I mean,
taking
you know,
responsibility.
but that's the thing, you know, that's
job, Josh.
when you mess up like that, you got to own it. I mean, you just and you know, if you were the instigator, you know, just own
It
up
sets
to
a good
it.
example for the
Yeah,
teens and kids because
exactly.
they are watching you. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's that. Also,
Did you
the last I want to say it was the last day that we did the, you know, one group did kickball and another group did volleyball, and
Oh,
I
yeah, we
remember
did
That was the first time we'd done kickball in a couple years.
Yes, and that
Yeah.
was
That was a lot
so
of
much fun, and especially having Sanel, who is an athletic person. I mean, he used to be on soccer teams and all that kind of stuff. So he was very once he got the gist of what kickball was, he was really into it. So it was a lot
Yeah,
of fun
it was a
playing
lot
with
of fun.
him and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
having fun, you know.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah, because I don't remember what year they did this, but at one end of the field they built a baseball
Right,
field.
Right.
exactly, and that's what we used. That was fun. Also, I remember we did the Happy Mail or whatever it was,
Mhm.
you know, because originally it was in a box, but then we decided, hey, why not do the envelopes and all that?
Yeah, like mini mailboxes.
So everybody had a personal.
Oh,
Yes.
You know, so at kids camp, I
I
really
still
didn't
have, like, most
use
of
that,
my
but at teen camp, I was
photos
like, you know what,
I have
am-
all of mine.
especially since it was the last time we'd be at Merch IFC, and a lot of these kids at the camp I was very connected with, and just, you know, wanted to send each one a note. So I made a point throughout the week just to send them a note.
You took an example
and-
from me. Good job.
Yeah, well,
Just kidding.
anyway, but what was so cool was the responses back. I mean,
I'm proud of
I've
you, sis.
I've still got like 25
Guys, it's hard.
different notes from different teens, and there was one note I will mention was this one young lady who originally came to the kids camp, but this was her first teen camp, I think, was
Who?
Yana. Remember Yana?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's
Milinkovic.
something like that. Anyway, they back when she was at kids camp and a lot with other girls, they liked to play this what they call princess game. That's what they called it. And
Oh, yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah.
it was
Well, Abby and Darcy created.
right that
And they weren't there that year. So.
right. So
Which
anyway,
was
but the game
Right
was
around
that so they had a big playground, and that was sort of the base, the safe zone, whatever. And the point was for me, because I was always
or
the
me.
one
I would be
that
there.
was it.
Yeah.
The villain.
I would try to capture the princesses or whatever.
Right.
You know, if they stepped off the base, then I could go after them, all that kind of stuff. And then I had my, you know, it was sort of like, what's the prisoners?
I want. It's not cops and robbers. It's
Isn't it the prison? There's like a prisoner.
There's a
game,
prisoner
something
game
Like,
it's
it's
very similar.
similar to that. Anyway, so, well, I usually did it at kids camp.
Yeah,
you
that was
know?
that was a little
That
girl
was a
thing.
kid's-
It
but
wasn't really
anyway,
a big girl,
but-
teen girl thing.
But so this was Yana's first teen camp, but she sent me a note. She said, you know, I still want to play that game. I know it's teen camp, but I still want to play that game. And I was like, let's do it. So we one of the like free time stuff, we got some of the older girls to play.
That was a lot of fun.
I think Anastasia, Dory, Emma, maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
I remember Anastasia might have played.
and
Yes.
then I'm trying to remember what was the other one. There was one other thing. Oh, so the
Last name,
coolest.
Josh.
This is the last
Yeah,
thing.
because-
The coolest thing.
You're kind of
Mom
rambling.
did a lot
We love
of.
him. I'm kidding.
Mom loves to do all these visuals on and what's the word? Object lessons in presenting a certain message to the teens, and especially with the teens because you know they all get it. So this one thing she did one night at this particular teen camp, she got Andrea up, and she asked everyone to turn off all the lights and everything. and she brought out her phone, and she asked Andrea, she turned on the flashlight mode on her phone. She asked, how did she put it? Like, does this hurt your eye? Like, how did she put it? My mind's gone blank.
Well, she had Andrea close her eyes first.
She had
and the lights go off.
Right. And then she asked her to open her eyes and with the spotlight. And she's like, did that hurt? And she was like, yes, because it was just that bright light shining in the eyes. She was like, okay. So she turned that off, and then someone had lit a candle. Yeah. And she took the candle and had Andrea close her eyes again, and then she asked him to open them, and she was like, does this hurt you or not? She's like, no, and she was like, it draws you in, right? So that's what we're supposed to be. We're not supposed. So she used that object lesson of not being a spotlight to someone who is lost, but be that candle drawing them in instead of shoving them back farther in darkness. So it's just a really cool object lesson that she used, and a lot of the teens really sunk in with them.
Yeah.
So it was lots of fun.
Well,
Let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
We've gone a
sorry,
little long.
I'm sorry to say you were rambling, Josh. Those were good memories, but
Yeah.
We may do a bonus episode sometime in the future, but we'll need to brainstorm like stories that we missed.
Yeah.
That way we're not rambling on the podcast.
Yeah, because there is so much.
Yes,
stuff.
there is. There's a lot. Anyway, don't want to get started on that. So thank y'all for listening to this episode. We hope you all have been enjoying these. We've been enjoying taking you on a trip down memory lane. There we go. I was mixing up my prepositions there. And it's kind of cool putting this in a permanent form where people can come back and find it,
Right,
and
exactly.
these summers were really formational to our characters and who we are today. So it's really cool that we get to share that with y'all, and y'all letting us know that you've been enjoying it and stuff like that. We really appreciate it. So if this is one of your first times listening to Let's B3D, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe so you don't miss a future episode, share with your friends, all that jazz. You can just let us know that you're listening to it. That always is very encouraging. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. So you can find us basically anywhere on social media. Keep up with us. We love hanging with y'all over there. Let's see. I think I've covered everything so far.
Yeah, I think so.
So
you can also check out our website.
Yes, anything Family Sowell, our tour schedule, how you can join the fan club and invest in our music, updates about the new album and stuff like that will be on social media and our website too. So lots of fun things coming up, and y'all have a great week. Whatever day it is, it's Wednesday right now in this present time. So there we go.
Yeah.
And as always,
Peace, love, fam.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions or standards of the Family Sowell.
Have a lovely day.